How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. This is going to be the guide for week 5, which is level range 50 through 60, as we are approaching the end game of Honkai Star Rail. There's going to be a lot of important information in here, including a massive change in the way that we are going to be spending our Trailblaze power. There's going to be a huge priority shift coming, and you're going to want to be prepared. On top of that, we're going to teach you how to make best in slot relics and items, and this is going to be very, very important. So make sure to go ahead and let me know what kind of relics you have right now. I'm curious, what is your best relic? Comment below and let me know. Let's go ahead and jump into the content now, and as always, if you find this useful, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button. So first up, we have Trailblaze Power. We are going to change the way that we are spending Trailblaze Power, and the priority is now going to be XP, Light Cones, Core Relics, Talents, Credits, and Finalized Relics. And the reason why is you are gonna run out of everything. If we take a look at my account here, we can see that I do have quite a lot of characters at level 70, but I have used everything. I have nothing left to give. I have no more resources, and I still have characters that are stuck down in the lower levels. The reason why this is going to be really important is because in order to progress, you need to keep those characters level up to the monster levels. Since we are now level 50, we have entered the next equilibrium level. Monsters are getting higher level in the Memory of Chaos. They're getting level 78. And you need to be level 70 to even be on par with them, or else you're getting scaled out of your mind and you won't be able to do anything at all. So my recommendation is going to be the priority in that order. I would definitely focus on your carries first, your big main damage dealers, and then you can get your supports up there, because at the end of the day, they're mostly providing shields and utility buffs. They're not doing raw damage, so the scaling won't matter as much on them. So that's going to be a huge thing. You're going to run out of XP. You're going to run out of cash, actually. You're actually going to run low on credits, that blew my mind. I had no idea that I was going to get that low on credits. So you're going to run out of all of this stuff. Light cone stuff I've managed to do all right, but I have definitely been feeling the pain, and I have several more light cones to level up. So it's going to be a while for me, guys. It's going to be a bit before we get everything caught up to the level 50 bracket. We did a lot of preparation. I'm not someone that went into this blind, but let me tell you, even knowing that it was going to be bad, it's bad. It's worse than you think it's going to be. Let's put it like that. So with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about best in slot relics and farming, because we are now going to start making use of the synthesizer with our new equilibrium level increase. We're going to start seeing 2 relics of the legendary variety from our runs, potentially instead of 1, which is going to give you a lot of fodder to go ahead and make relic dust with. So if we take a look at the synthesizer and we look at this section up here to relic craft, we're going to start talking about how do we make that best in slot gear and what are we looking for. And I think that the strategy is very simple. I think when you get the relic remains, you're going to get some of them from the battle pass. You're going to get some of them from destroying any legendary, salvaging any legendary item. You're going to get 10 material points for that. You need 100. So for every 10 trash relics that you find, you can turn it into potentially something good, right? The only exception would be this, as my viewers would call, the lemon thingy. You get 1 of these per battle pass, but you definitely want to save this, and I'll tell you why. I think right now the best use of this item is on a crit rate chest piece or a crit damage chest piece, and that really depends on what your character has for extra stats and talents and traces. For example, if we take a look at a character like Jing Yuan, we can see that in his trace tree, he has a ton of talents that actually give crit rate. There are a lot. It's actually kind of surprising. This guy's really stacked. So if you're looking to get like crit rate from this character, you can see a lot of talents in his kit that are going to give you crit rate. So that changes his priority a little bit when you get to the end game. when you get to the end game, you're also going to have crit rate on your pieces of gear. So you can imagine that you could get somewhere between, I would say 5% crit rate on a piece of gear is pretty like average. 8 would be excellent, but you could definitely get a lot higher. You can get upwards towards like 15% crit on a single piece of gear. So once, just like in Genshin Impact, once you hit a certain like crit threshold, you start thirsting for crit damage. So once you can get up in that like 60% crit rate, 70% crit rate, then crit damage becomes a lot more important. So I would advise you to save your lemon thingy, right? That thing that you get for the battle pass that allows you to go ahead and guarantee a stat, and make sure that it's going to be on a character that you for sure know you want that correct stat on, right? Because not all characters have crit rate in their kit, right? Like, for example, Seelie has a lot of crit damage in her trace tree. So this is going to change the way that you approach that, right? You definitely want crit rate on Seelie, depending on like what weapon you have, what light cone, you know, all these things come into place and make a little bit of a factor, and it's going to change as you get better gear over time that happens to have crit rate, that happens to have crit damage on it. So just keep in mind that that is something that is coming. So I think that the strategy here with the synthesizer is going to be very, 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 very simple. A lot of relic places are going to offer you one set that you want and another set that is just rubbish, right? You're not going to ever use that set. So what you're hoping to get out of this, and since the head piece and the hand piece are both locked in their main stat, right? You always have to get HP here. You always get attack, flat attack here. What you're looking for is the chest piece and the feet, the boots, right? So ideally, you want a speed pair of boots on like 99% of characters, right? There are some exceptions like Seelie. And you want a crit rate chest piece majority of cases, sometimes crit damage, depending on the character. So I think what you want to do is really like farm for one of those. Farm that set until you hit one of those pieces. If you hit a speed pair of boots, great. If you hit a crit chest piece, great. And then you can start using your relic remains to fish specifically for that other piece that you don't have. And this is going to save you a lot of time as you potentially go on and farm these relics in the future, because if you happen to hit a really good pair of speed boots, then you don't have to worry about that. And if you're trying to farm that place for a crit chest piece and you get another pair of speed boots, it feels like a bit of a waste when you could have used that on another character that needed those speed boots. So that's going to be the strategy going into this, and it's going to be immensely helpful for you guys. And trust me, this is going to be what I'm sticking to right now. I'm still holding on to my lemon thingy because I want to make absolutely sure that I am going to make good use of this. With best in slot relics out of the way, I wanted to talk a little bit about the new event that is here, this Boulder Town Super League. This event, to me, the rewards are okay. The amount of Stellar Jades is not a lot. I don't know what you guys think. Comment down below. Do you like this event? I feel like I finish it in like 1 minute. Like in 1 minute every single day, I completely clear out this event. And it is nice to get like 100 Stellar Jade, okay? Like, but at the end of all this, we're getting 600 Stellar Jade for an event that's supposed to last like roughly a month. That's like 3 pools. And arguably the best part about this event is going to be the materialistic resources, like the Light Cone XP, the actual character XP, which is all stuff you're really going to need, and even down to the credits. Like, all this stuff is a little bit more valuable, to be honest. But that's my thoughts on it. I feel like it's too short. You know, I spend 1 minute 30 seconds, I do the event, and then I have to wait, like, you know, 24 hours for it to come back. There's 5 rounds total. Once that's done, it's done. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you guys think down below on this one. With Boulder Town out of the way, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Nameless Honor. I did go ahead and get this pass because I feel that it's absolutely mandatory. And this sounds like a weird thing to say, but the game seems like it's built in a way that if you do not buy this battle pass, you are heavily punished. The amount of credits, the amount of experience, and the amount of light cone XP that you get from this, like not even including the other stuff, just that it's gonna take you months like to farm that, months of spending your resources just to catch up to that amount of power that you're getting from this battle pass here. So it's actually crazy. Well designed, maybe, but I don't know. It just seems like you're definitely shooting yourself in the foot if you don't get that, and that's kind of the reason why I dived in to get it. I'm a little bit salty on it. I'm a little bit salty that it is so mandatory, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But I looked at it this way, you know, how much am I going to spend this resource on, right? Like these precious resources that I'm getting every day, this Trailblaze power, I need it to actually progress my people in the game. So having to backtrack myself like a month or two of farming just because I didn't have the BP just didn't make sense to me. With the BP covered, let's go ahead and talk about wishing. Wishing is going to be really important here in the future because Jing Yuan's banner only has about 2 weeks left. We're going to see a new character, and we're going to see new weapons. So I would definitely recommend to start holding on to some of those Stellar Jade. Just like in all gacha games, as time goes on, characters are going to get power crept. And the time frame for like what's your best in slot character is going to move on and progress. I think that having Sealy and Jing Yuan right now is a really, really good position to be in. But when the new characters come out in the future, new light cones are going to come out and all that good stuff, I would just start thinking about that and using your resources towards that if you're free to play. If you're not free to play, obviously, you know, follow your heart, do your thing, and get what you want to get. But I just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up that, you know, these new characters will be coming in the future, and you might want to start planning your comp. Because remember, whenever you pull for a new character, you're taking another character out of your 8-person, essentially, roster, which is what's required for endgame right now. So start looking at the characters that you're going to be pushing out towards the edge and replacing with new ones in the future, so that way you can know who to heavily invest in, because it would be a shame to push out a character that has really high XP and really high trace materials invested in them just because you know, the new character is just better than them, right? And moving on to experience calcs, as always, you should be about level 50 this week. Hopefully you hit it on Sunday, following my advice, using a little bit of that Trailblaze power to boost you into the 50 bracket so that you can get extra Echo Award rewards, as well as the Simulated Universe new cap, which will be calculated. Don't worry, this week for experience, you don't have to worry because we're going to be stuck in the level 50 to 60 bracket for quite a while. It's going to be like 2 to 3 weeks, so don't worry, there's nothing that you're missing out on here. Just continue to do your dailies and keep on top of your Trailblaze power. Speaking of the simulated universe, the new cap is out this week. If you manage to reach level 50 and you are Equilibrium 4, you will now see 10,000 point cap, which is actually pretty good. The only difference here is the amount of Stellar Jade, the amount of raw credits, and the amount of Relic XP that you're going to get. But as we pointed out earlier, that priority for spending power is going to change. So all of a sudden, getting this extra cash looks pretty good. All of a sudden, getting this extra Relic XP starting to look pretty good, because all of these resources are going to start running really scarce. So I'm super happy that I was able to push into the 50. If you guys did not hit 50 this week, hopefully you are hitting 50 soon, and that will definitely change the way that the game is played for you. In my opinion, it made it a lot more fun. I have tons of goals to aim for right now, and I'm super excited to get in and prog in that Memory of Chaos. So yes, Simulated Universe, new point cap. Remember that this cap only calculates every Monday per this thing here. So Monday at 4 a.m. server, so if you did not get that calculation, you will have to wait until next week, but no biggie, it's not too big of a deal. With that level 50 bracket, Simulated Universe increase is also going to come daily XP increase for level 50. So we're going to be getting 320 per bubble of this daily quest instead of 290, and also increase rewards in terms of the amount of credits and other facilities that we are getting here. So this is also going to be a nice and helpful boost. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about the Echo of War. Echo of War should be refreshed for this week. Remember that we're not hitting level 60 anytime soon, so you can feel free to go ahead and do these immediately. But I want to know what you guys get from these things. Yesterday, I did all 3 of mine, and I got 2 light cones. I got I got 2 light cones back to back, so 2 out of 3. Have you guys seen a light cone from this? Is that very like common? Because we were talking about it on stream, and they're like, man, is it really that common at level 50 to get so many light cones? Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you've gotten from this thing. Have you seen a light cone before? Have you gotten any lucky items? I'm kind of interested to see what that's all about. Okay, with all of that stuff covered, that's going to be it for this week. So it's going to be smooth sailing and cruising as we just progress in the level 50 to 60 range. We got a ton of new Honkai Star Rail guides and content coming in the future, so make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that bell button, especially if you found this information useful and you feel that I earned your sub. Thanks for your time and watching the video, and we will see you in the next one.